when they introduce a problem and how someone
Solve it.
The tower leads more with each passing century. The tilt increased to more than 5 degrees. The people feared it would collapse into ruins. Now we know the problem. What's the solution? Earth was removed from under the monument, and weights were added to balance out the top of it. They corrected the lean at least a little bit. That's problem and solution, not a real kid. Just look out for the words involved. Since question, problem, solution, and solve.
Okay, so what words are we looking for? Since, question, problem, solution, and solve. So problem and solution. It introduces a problem and how? What? How? Say it loud and proud.
Solve.
Solved it, yes. What are the words that I'm going to see?
Question, problem, solution, and solve.
Good. And then here's our thinking map. Here's where my problem would be, and here's all the possible solutions for it. Let's go on to the last text.
I got another text, you don't have to ask. And it's text structure, compare and contrast. It explains how things are different in the same.
How things are different and the
Same.
With the words in bold, I'm about to say. Both the tower of Pisa's construction and the Washington Monument saw destruction. The Washington Monument, named after George, that construction caused for the Civil War. Like the leaning tower, it took years to finish, but the purposes of the buildings were different. One was erected as a church bell's tower, while the other honored the founding father.
Okay, so what are my words? Both, like, but, and while. Same, different and the same. Words like, but, while. Here's our thinking map. So here's our two main things. These right here are what my things have in common. See, they both connect to those circles. And here's how they are different. Just like a whole thing here. There we go. There we go. So right here in the middle are what they have in common. Those are things that are alike, and then my differences go on the outsides. So now we have a total of 5 text structures, right? So let's name them all together. First one is description, sequence, cause and effect, problem and solution, compare and contrast.
There we compared the two different towers. That's 5 text structures in a 16th of an hour. In text, I find description. I find sequence, cause, and effects. We can compare and contrast all day, all day. There's a problem and solution, I bet. In text, I find description. I find sequence, cause, and effects. We can compare and contrast all day, all day. There's a problem and solution, I bet.
Alright, so now that we have looked at the new text structures, we're going to read this new text together and we're going to figure out what text structure it is. Make sure you refer to your guided notes to help you determining it. Let me read it first. Fire ban in effect. During severe droughts, when fire danger is high due to an unusual lack of rain, many places will order a fire ban. A fire ban prohibits anyone from lighting fires, especially campfires, because the danger of them igniting an entire forest or grassland is large. While it may seem pointless to go camping with no campfire, there are a few things you can do instead. Be sure everyone in your group has a headlamp so they can see where they are going at night. Be ready to eat meals that only require water and not heat to prepare. Prepare yourself for more mosquitoes than usual. And bring plenty of bug spray. Pack layers of clothing so that you don't get too cold without the warmth of the fire. Instead of telling stories by the campfire, enjoy an evening of stargazing. When it gets dark enough, turn off your headlamp, sit silently in the dark, and listen to all the sounds that nature has to offer. Camping without a campfire can still be enjoyable. Take a second, think about it. Look at your guided notes. Thinking about the two new text structures we learned today, which one do you think this one is? Turn and talk to the person sitting next to you. Share what you think it is before we share out. Finish up your conversation in 3, voices off in 2, eyes forward in 1. Okay? Who would like to tell me what text structure you think this is? Catherine, turn your speaker.
Compare and contrast.
Okay, why? What are we comparing and contrasting?
Because in compare and contrast, the words are go, right, but, well.
Okay, so what am I comparing in this text? What two things am I comparing?
You're comparing how it would be without the campfire and how it would be with the campfire.
Okay, agree or disagree?
Agree.
Anybody disagree? Okay guys, this is not compare and contrast.
What?
This is not compare and contrast. This is problem solution. The problem is that there's a fire ban and we can't have campfires. So what is the solution? I need to make sure I bring bug spray. I need to have meals that don't require heat. I need to listen to nature sounds. The problem is that there is a fire ban. And then the author tells me all the different things that I can do to solve the problem of there being a fire ban. It's not compare and contrast because all the author is talking about in here is what it's like with no campfire. He doesn't talk about what it's like with a campfire. You see how this is problem solution now?
Yes.
What is the problem again?
Fire ban.
The fire ban. Yeah. And then I can go back in. A fire ban prohibits lighting fires because of the danger. While I see pointless to go camping with no fire, there are a few things you can do instead. Have a headlamp. Ready to eat meals. Use bug spray. Layers of clothing so you don't get cold. Enjoy an evening of stargazing. Listen to the sounds of nature. Those are all the things I can do if I don't have a campfire. All right, let's look at one more. Lodging options for all. Okay, listen very carefully. Are you the type of camper who enjoys the outdoors and wants to snooze under the stars with only the cover of a fabric tent? Or are you an indoor camper who prefers the safety of a cabin and a roof over your head? You are sure to have a blast with both choices. If you choose to camp in a tent, be prepared to spend an hour or two setting up your temporary lodge. On the other hand, cabin goers just need to open their front door and plop down their belongings. Think about where you keep your food. A cabin often has a hinge and latching door, whereas a tent we will need to be zipped shut. Hungry animals can usually find their way into both if they try hard enough. If you are sleeping in a tent while camping, bundle up under your sleeping bag. The cabin residents, however, can cozy up on their cot with sheets and blankets. Which lodging option is right for you? Think about this. Look at your guided notes. Be ready to defend your choice. Is this problem solution or is this compare and contrast? Oh, turn to talk to your neighbor real quick before I ask you to share out. Finish up your conversation in 3. Voices off in 2. Eyes forward in 1. What do we think this is, Kiva?
I think this is compare and contrast.
Okay, why? What 2 things am I comparing and contrasting?
If you look at the outdoor or indoor and
That's over here. Okay, agree or disagree? Agree, yes. This is compare and contrast. So if I was to use my thinking map this time, this one would say cabin, this would say tent. Anything that's the same for cabins and tents would go in the middle. If it's just a tent, it goes on this side. If it's just a cabin, it comes over here. Is there anything based on reading this that they have in common?
they're both for camping.
They're both for camping. Okay? Anything else? The rest are all different. What's one thing that a cabin has that a tent does not? Zion. Does it say bunk beds? What does it say in my text?
It don't have zip it,
It has a what? What does a cabin have? Look at the text. What does a cabin have?
cabin has a roof.
A cabin has a roof. What does a tent have?
A zipper?
Are a roof and a zipper the same thing?
No.
The zipper is how you get into the tent, right? So how do you get into a cabin?
The door.
Door. That was showing how we're contrasting. Are there questions about compare and contrast? All right, let's practice a little bit. On your exit ticket are 2 short passages. You're going to read the passage, determine the text structure, and then you're going to put the key details into the thinking maps. Use your guided notes to help you. Are there questions about the exit ticket? I'll set my timer. When you're done with the exit ticket, you may move and work on your weekly rotation contract. Yep. Full thinking map. You have 2 thinking maps you have to do. You better hurry. You're not supposed to be going during class. Up front.